Okay, so now after 6 years I'm actually returning to one of my favorite CPU models of all time, and that's the Core i7 Extreme 980X, the very first Golf Town CPU. 6 years ago in 2019, like the late summer of 2019, I was able to do 7.2 GHz validation with the 980X, and I took down the Wprime top scores, which held for a few years until Matt26 from the UK was able to find pretty much similar quality CPU, and he very narrowly beat my Wprime scores with the CPU model, but I still have the validation. It's 7.199 point something, but you could say it's 7.2, and I'm sure the CPU would have been able to validate even higher. But the sad thing with that CPU now is that it cannot run the same clocks anymore on LN2. It's actually the same, still on water cooling, but for some reason it cannot run the same clocks anymore on LN2, so for that use it has degraded very heavily, but I don't know why the water quality is still the same. Now I found pretty much the same, or actually this is even better in terms of water cooling quality, another CPU that is 980X. So I want to try this on LN2, and if I could finally be lucky, we could try even the single thread stuff with all the knowledge I have nowadays after running all of these CPU models on LN2. That means the Bloomfield models and so on. So I really hope this could be it, but we never know. The question mark is always the scaling. Does the CPU scale? That's the most important thing with these CPU models like the Golf Town 980X, 990X. I also have quite decent 990X, but it's not really at this level. This one is significantly better than the 7.2 GHz CPU on water cooling, so I really hope this could be it. But let's see what happens. So I will start with only one memory stick in channel A, because channel C is where the problems usually are if you want to run the CPU at full pot temperatures. The scaling really matters, and there's also like question mark which motherboard model is the best. The CPU PLL voltage is very hard to determine, like what's the most suitable value. It's not that easy every time, but let's see what happens. So I'll go for the Wprimes first. If the CPU seems good enough, then I'll try the single thread stuff. So Rampage 3 Extreme, the same board I used for the Core i7 Extreme, 975, 965, 950 and so on. NVIDIA 6500 GT for the monitor signal. I'm using the first slot over here because this is the best slot on this particular motherboard where I get the best, like it's, for example, the PCI Express results. Corsair AX1600i. And the memory is, as always, the dominated GDX2 from Samo CX or Tapaka. I will populate the remaining 2 memory slots if we decide to move on to the single threaded stuff. T-Rex container, and I'm using now the pink thermal paste from Thermal Grizzly, but it doesn't really matter. Do we use the pink thermal paste, GC Extreme, KPX, whatever, if the CPU is just not good enough. But let's see, and let's keep our fingers crossed. So yeah, just Windows XP, because for some reason X58 doesn't like Server 2003. No header plate whatsoever. So let's keep our fingers crossed and let's hope for the best. Okay, I'm at minus 150, 6.3, just 1.76 volts. So far I think it's quite good. .5. Target is 2.4 something. For some reason, booting is always hard in Windows XP. .4, definitely strong. Ooh, 30 milliseconds away. It's not working, obviously. I think this could be the record. One's 170 degrees Celsius. To 421. $193 times 1 millisecond away. Okay, let's break the top score now. Of course, the FSB will be bugged because of the CPU Z thingy, which I've explained to you many times. And only 1.76 volts. $2,405 is the yeah, 2,359. I knew this would be good. So 195 times 35. That's the correct one because we are bugging. 6.8. 6.8 guys, 6.8. I wanna drop the clock a little bit for 1024 amp. Yeah, 6.7. I think this is good. Sad day for Mat 26, but I'm absolutely happy. 6.8. Wprime. I wonder what Mr. Samo CX is saying right now. And this CPU much easier to run. Okay, 74,687. Previous top score is 75,281 by Mat26 from the UK at 6.633. The same clock I used for my old top score. So 6694 for 1024 amp. One attempt and only 1.76 volts, guys. This is enormous. 6.7. Yeah. Damn awesome. So closing in on PiFast, I'm actually using the old CPU-Z because the newest one doesn't update the clock when you set FSP. Okay, that's interesting why we are not getting the top score. Okay, let's try 1M, but it's all interesting to run. It's definitely interesting to run PiFast very close to 7 GHz. Something wrong with efficiency, etc. I think 7A1 is the top score by High Cookie. This is already 697, something like this. $12.06. Score. Okay, this is the only single threaded top score I'm going to be getting. Super Pi just cannot run. I don't know, could we improve it with, let's say, OS? Absolutely no idea. Just 7.1 PiFast. Previous top score high cookie at 12.010 at 6.93. It's almost 200 megahertz higher. But yeah, this is even in itself absolutely phenomenal. 5.3 Anko almost, then 2032 676 18 common rate 1. 203.2 times 35. Please under 12. $11.97. $7.125. $11.97. But why 1M doesn't run? I don't know. I have no idea. Let's try. I think 7.2 should be able to valid. Seven, 2, 3, 3. Okay, small improvement. I think the contact this time is not the best, but 6.850 Wprime 32. Efficiency not the best, but no can do. 2, 3, 4, 3 something. Yeah, that's not good. So 6.8 passed. That can be it. If we get the contact a little bit better, lap the CPU, I think 685, close to 685. But yeah, we already improved 100 megahertz. So I think it's enough at this stage. So 73.437, I think this is already over 2-second gain or so compared to the previous top score made by Matt26 and where I managed to do myself in 2019, so 6 years ago. Enormous, absolutely enormous. I think it's that one. But 6.9 for sure possible if we get a tiny bit better contact. But it seems weird because the top guys were running single-threaded stuff at this frequency. So I don't know what what Samo CX is thinking right now when he sees these runs. He probably thinks that guy is just a maniac, winning hundreds of Golf Town CPUs. Not really. I want one more step. 2, 3, 4, 4. We got this numerous times already. Yes. Closing in on 2.9. I mean 6.9. I think this is enough. It's not gonna run, I'm sure, but it's already so close, 6.9. Well, at least it has been fun running this. Is one step enough? For 6.9? Yes. So maybe. Maybe. 6.9 passed, but score sucks. And okay, after running this brand new 980X on LN2 for a few times, it's time to wrap up this whole video. So I tried a few times. I even managed to run the CPU at full pot temperatures with all of the free memory sticks running for the first time ever. So now I could confirm that the whole free memory channel cold bug, which usually happens at -165, it's actually a BIOS settings related thing. It's not an actual cold bug of the CPU, because all of the Golf Town CPUs I've had this far, they usually have that cold bug at -165 if you run all of the free, or actually if you run a memory stick on the channel C. So if you run even just a single memory channel, but the channel C, it usually crashes somewhere around -165. But the problem is that it's very inconsistent. It's very difficult to get the temperature to full pot, so the maximum of liquid nitrogen, when you run that channel C. So it's very hard. So if you run, let's say, just one or two memory channels, so A and B, you can get to full pot temperatures extremely easy every single time. So I was mostly happy about this CPU, that it's so easy to run. You just need to set the base clock, the multiplier and the VCO, and that's it. And you can easily run at full pot temperatures. No need to mess around with other settings at all. But anyways, so the biggest highlight was obviously the multi-threaded stuff. So Wprime in this case, as I usually don't prefer to run the newer multi-threaded tests with these older platforms and CPUs, because these tests weren't so popular back in the day when these items or computer parts were the newest stuff out on the market. So in this case 2010 or 2011, Cinebench was just about to being popular among reviewers and users in general. But I could run, let's say, Cinebench R11.5 and R15 if I wanted to. So Wprime, I managed to get the 2.328 ones at 6893, and thanks to TerraRaptor I was able to fix the CPU-Z bug for the first time. So now I don't need to use something like core temp anymore. By default, in especially in Windows XP or Server 2003, if you move nowadays the base clock too much in the OS with the newer versions of CPU-Z, it will bug the multiplier down by one value if you move the BCLK, let's say 3 to 5 megahertz. So now you need to just use use PM timer command in the boot ini of the operating system. So you just need to edit that thing manually into the boot.ini file. So /use PM timer, something like this. That was actually recommended to me by TerraRaptor in my PiFast run over here. So include /use PM timer in the boot ini. So Wprime 32 2.328 at 6893. We could run 6.9 once, but the score was worse. So we need, I think, for the next step in the actual performance or in the result, the next step would be close to 2.3, maybe 2.31 something. I think we need 6.91 or 6.92 gigahertz on the CPU-Z. I'm planning to do lapping on the CPU, and if the mount ends up being next to perfect, I think the maximum frequency for Wprime 32 should be 6.92 to 6.95, in that range, but at least 6.92, because I didn't push the VCO too much when I was running these tests. I didn't see it necessary, but it's already really nice. So 2.328 against 2.405 by Mat26 from the UK, and the difference in the frequency is 190 megahertz. 1024M, the best or the last run ended up being just over 6.8, which is 175 megahertz higher than Mat26, and the result is already close to 2 seconds faster. 1 minute 13.437 against 1 minute 15.281. So that's definitely enormous for a Golf Town CPU. This is, I'm sure the CPU can run 6.7 to 6.8 in Citybench as well, which would result in a pretty interesting result, I assume, in those tests as well. The biggest surprise for me was definitely the PiFast, because everyone, or even myself, has been kind of accepting the fact that the old top results made by Cookie back in the day with his phenomenally good Q3FE engineering sample CPU are close to untouchable, but we managed to improve the score by a little bit. But of course my run isn't good, and I'm not very happy about this run, although at the same time I'm extremely happy about this run. So and the only reason for this improvement is the enormous CPU frequency with the 980X, 7.125 megahertz. I mean 7.125 gigahertz. So almost 200 megahertz higher. I think Encore it's close to the same, so almost 5.3. I think Cookie had like 5.25, but the biggest reason for this bad efficiency is that I'm using only dual memory channel configuration. I was actually close. I could run 6.97 with 3 memory channels running, but the score was, I think, like 12.1 or 12.2 something, so I needed a bit more. I don't know why my efficiency was a bit behind when I ran very good frequency with 3 memory channels as well. It's probably something to do with the memory timings, like the sub timings, like the back-to-back cache latency and so on. So I need to work on this topic more if I want to get the efficiency a bit better. So 7.125, as you can see on core temp. Core temp is actually pretty nice because it will always report the frequency correctly. With the use PM timer command, now we can use the latest CPU-Z just fine, like over here. So 2.15, 32-bit version. And we managed to do a bit better validation as well, so 7.233. And a small trick and treat for you guys, which we might hear more about later. 7.347. And you can see when I actually made these runs, it was in September 12 of this year. So a bit over a month ago, like 1 month and 2 weeks ago, something like this. But now I just want to figure out how we can break the Super Pis as well, because this CPU cannot run, for example, 1M any higher than 6.7. I don't know what's going on. I've been talking about this thing with guys like Terroraptor and Ground and so on. Terroraptor thinks it's something about the test itself, that it stresses something inside the CPU what other tests usually don't, like something QPI related, I don't know. But I cannot run the 1M or 32M anywhere near the same frequencies where I can run, let's say, Wprime or PiFast, etc. So I'm pretty sure this CPU just cannot do it. I really tried every single setting I could think of in the BIOS and so on, and they didn't help. So it's possible we just need another CPU. Long time ago, Sam OCX or Tapaka told me, like, some of the newer batches of 980X and even 990X, they cannot run Super Pi at very high frequencies, although they can run other tests at very high frequencies, even multi-threaded stuff. And you can actually see this yourself. If you check, let's say, 990X results on hardwarebot.org, you can quickly note that the frequency for something like Super Pi 1M and 32M is very low. The best validation with 990X is 7.125 by Tapaka. Best Wprimes are 2.0 375 seconds at 6.6 by Bench Pros from Germany and 6.58 by SF3D from Finland. But look, the best 32M is only at 6.2 by Samo CX or Tapaka, and best 1M is close to 6.7 by Splay, but it's still significantly lower than what has been done with the 980X. So the later batch 980Xs are technically the same thing as a 990X. So it's possible we have to find a good, very old batch 980X CPU that could run frequencies close to 6.9 for single thread stuff like 1M and 32M, but of course that's extremely difficult. But I'll see what I can do anyways, because these parts are very important to me. These components are, or these CPUs are one of those models I really would like to break all of the top scores with. But even this is still very, very nice result overall. So now we have 4 out of 6 with the 980X, and I'm pretty sure these Wprimes, they are already in their cells untouchable results. But I wanna give the multi-threaded part one more attempt after I lap the CPU. I would like to see Wprime 32 at close to 6.95 and 1024M close to 6.85. So we'll see what happens. So please give this video a thumbs up if you appreciate all of my work and efforts with these older platforms, like finding things out. Now we could even confirm the triple memory channel issue with these CPUs, so it's actually a BIOS related thing or settings related thing. You can run the CPU at full pot temperatures even with 3 memory channels, as long as you can hit the maximum temperature of LN2 with any memory configuration with your particular CPU. Just getting 3 memory channels working at the max temperature of LN2 is just a matter about tuning the BIOS settings correctly, etc. Please subscribe to my channel as well if you want to follow my content. I still have some more legacy overclocking related stuff coming out later in the very near future. Maybe check out my Patreon page as well if you want to support my work. And yeah, thanks for watching some of my legacy overclocking content once again, and I will see you on the next one.